only mode is on. Welcome, guys. So this is the monthly live stream for the members Q&A. We're going to be doing psychic readings and healings if you guys want that. So it's a members only chat, and you guys can start asking questions for those who are here. I do have written in questions. Whoops.
Local banking means more.
Sorry. Close the ad pop-ups and all of that. Okay. So feel free, members, if you are here, or I'll give you guys some time to jump on and ask some questions in the chat. Like I was saying, I do have a couple of written in questions from members who are on different time zones and are unable to be here. So, hey Tiffany, welcome. So excited to be back after that little hiatus. Thank you guys for your patience with me as I was away. Well, I was sick and then I was away and then I came back and now I'm getting back into the swing of things. So let me know what you guys are needing today. So Tiffany is asking for some healing. Okay, sounds good, Tiffany. So just going to use my energy cleansing spray as usual, and I'll start tapping in. You're sick? Oh no. Okay, is it like a physical sickness? Hey Danielle. Tiffany, is it like a cold or flu type of thing? Let me just tap in and we'll see what's going on. Okay, so for Tiffany, I'm seeing like a ring around the top of your head where the crown chakra is. Do you have any head pressure? Because sometimes if you're sick and you have a cold, you can have headaches. But what I'm seeing is like a ring right around the top of your head. So energetically, there may be some congestion, like quite literally congestion from the cold in your sinuses and stuff like that can cause congestion in the energy center right there at the top of the head. Sometimes even at the third eye, but I'm seeing it right up there in the crown. So let me just take a look and see. Yeah, let's just do a little bit of, they actually said retuning. I was going to do clearing for you, Tiffany, but they said that retuning is actually probably more appropriate for you right now. So Tiffany, I'm just going to go in energetically, connect to you non-locally through the quantum realm, and just retune the crown chakra. They did just give me the phrase ascension symptoms, and I'm very sort of wary of using that in regard to physical illnesses and stuff like that, because I think a lot of the time it can be sort of overused or misconstrued. But in this case, Tiffany, they are telling me that this cold that you have is a type of ascension symptom. So your head hurts a little bit towards the back. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, because what I'm seeing is like a ring right around the top of your head energetically. So it is an upgrade that you're going through, is the word they just gave me, an upgrade, and that's why they are recommending and have brought you forward today for a retuning. So let me go ahead and do that now. So the retuning is kind of like an attunement. It's basically just, if the frequency is a little bit flat or a little bit sharp, we're just bringing it right back into that harmonious tone, kind of like retuning a guitar or a piano. It's the same thing, and getting you back into harmonious resonance. So I'm just placing the high vibrational frequency of the divine light into the crown chakra. So connecting to that halo around your head, because that's quite literally what it looks like, Tiffany. It's a halo around your head. That's the crown chakra. And that's why a lot of the time our depictions of angels and saints and stuff like that, they always have the halo or they have the big aura around their head. That's just a very, very active crown chakra. So yeah, there we go. We're retuning now. And they're saying that this will help to reduce some of the pressure in the back of your head. It's going to help. They just said drainage. So it's going to help with energy drainage and also with physical drainage if that's contributing to this or it's kind of manifesting as a result of it. So Tiffany, I'm really excited to see that this is an ascension symptom for you, which also means that usually it won't last as long as a regular cold. Usually ascension symptoms last from about 24 hours to 3 days max. And if they go longer than that, then it can be in combination with an actual virus or bacteria, but because you can have both at the same time happening. But I'm seeing that, yeah, you're in an upgrade phase right now, Tiffany, and you just really needed a little bit of an adjustment, nothing major, just a tiny little tweak to help you to integrate these download codes is what that's the phrase, download codes. That's what you're receiving right now. And it's all coming through the crown chakra. So that's exciting for you. You'll have to let me know how that integrates. And sometimes it'll take time to integrate. So give yourself, oh, my ears want to pop. You like I'm on a plane. I mean, I was just recently on a plane and it's the exact same feeling. It's like there's pressure in my ears that's building up, and that's the drain. They just said drainage pathway is through the ear canals. Okay, so as we're shifting this vibration in the crown chakra, it's literally having a resonant effect on they're showing me crystals in the ears. They're showing me that little spiral structure. I think that's called the cochlea. If I remember back from science in like grade 10 or 11, it was like the cochlea, the anvil, the hammer. That's pretty much all I remember. You've been having pressure in your ears too? Yeah, okay. So it's all a result of this upgrade that you're going through and the ascension symptoms that are happening with this pressure in the crown chakra. That's why we just needed to retune it so that the drainage pathways can open and that energy can move more freely so that it's not being restricted. Because what I'm seeing is that because it was just a little bit off, it's kind of like having a kink in a garden hose. The water doesn't flow through as directly or as effectively. So by doing this retuning, it's just going to help things flow through a lot easier. That way you can recover your physical vitality very quickly, bounce back, and then really get to integrating these downloads because they are going to manifest in a very physical way is what they're showing me. Your sensory perception is going to increase. So this does have a direct link to your psychic abilities. You are expanding your claircognizance, which is connected to the crown chakra, Tiffany. So that is exciting. All right, let me see if there's anything else for you, Tiffany. Yes, they are bringing me to the heart center. It's actually not quite in the heart chakra. It's just a little bit below it. It's kind of like a blob of energy here. And yeah, it feels almost fear-based, kind of like anxiety. So it could just be a well of emotions that have kind of gotten stuck there. So Tiffany, let me see what they are recommending here. And they're showing me just holding it in the hands gently, like kind of just letting it be. So to heal the fear, it's acknowledging it, embracing it, nurturing it, and that will reduce a lot of the tension that's stored there. So kind of, I think what they're recommending here, because I was going to go in and do some release work and they said, no, you don't need to do that. Just tell her how to do this herself. So Tiffany, what they want you to do is you can quite literally put your hands on your chest like that. And it's right about here, Tiffany. So it's not up, it's right here. And put your hands kind of in that area and just breathe into it. So breathing into that area and then releasing it. Now they're showing me visualize it moving out and down your body and then out the soles of your feet. So just in and then sending love to that area and then letting it move out through the bottom of your feet. That's what they're showing me. And that's what they're recommending to release. It's just a little bit of built up fear. It could be anxiety from, I just got the word work. So it could be work anxiety, things like that. But yeah, that's what they're saying is to release that, just breathe into it and let it move out your feet. Okay, and I think that's everything. They just want me to do one final retouch on the crown chakra and then you are good to keep healing. and embodying on your own. All right, there we go. Crown chakra. That's fully aligned now and much better. So that energy is moving through and flowing freely. That's also going to help to flush the system and get that little bit of density that was there in the lower sort of heart area out through the feet. Imagine your whole body is like a conduit for this energy from the great tap of source to come through. We want to have it clear without any blockages so that the energy can move from crown and down and out the root. And then it also circles back up and goes the other direction too. So it's kind of that toroidal flow from both ends. Nervous. You're hosting your first class and you are nervous. Okay. So yeah, I can feel the nervousness there. It was kind of like anxiety or fear. So that makes sense, right? That's completely appropriate and based on your situation. So just holding space for that. That's why we didn't need to do any major like surgery or anything like that or clearing. It's just being aware of that, holding space for that part of you and that emotional experience and then letting that move out. Okay, there we go. Much better. You feel much better, Tiffany, just energetically being in your field. It's flowing much better, and I'm happy to feel that for you. So I hope that helps, and thank you so much, Tiffany, for being here. I'm sending you so much love. Okay, let me just scroll back up in the chat, see who else is here. Source Conduit, hello, welcome. Danielle is asking, let me see. Okay, actually, let me, before I forget, just cleanse a little bit there. All right, so Source Conduit and then Danielle afterwards. Okay, so Source Conduit, good day, Shevon. I would like to know where I am at on my healing and ascension journey. Okay, let's take a look. So I am feeling called to pull cards for you, Source Conduit, but I just want to check in energetically first to see what's going on that I can pick up on. Okay, so right away, as soon as I tuned in to your soul frequency, it's very garbled. It's kind of like electricity just sparking all over the place is what I'm seeing for you. Source Conduit, yes, you are a source conduit for sure. There's just like, it's almost like a frayed electrical line that is sort of spitting out electricity in all directions. It needs to be, now they're showing me when you take the end of an electrical wire, you strip it and then you connect it and then you kind of like solder it together. That's what they're showing me. So for you, Source Conduit, it's kind of like we need to have a ground or a conduit wire to literally have that energy move through a little bit more effectively. I'm just going to scroll through the chat. I'd love some healing though if Source deems it necessary. Yeah, definitely. So, oh, Tiffany feels better. Good. Yay. So happy to see that and to read that. Okay, so Source Conduit, back to the analogy of the wires. Okay, so it's almost as though your energy is frayed and it's powerful, but it needs this smoothness and this streamlined movement through so that it can be more effective. Okay, so let me just ask what they would like or what's recommended for you. Your higher self is coming in. So this is directly from your higher self, not from your guides or anything like that. Okay, they're showing me grounding, sitting down cross-legged on the floor with your bum on the ground. If you can do that now, feel free to do that. If it's not possible for you, maybe even just visualizing it would be helpful. But okay, so let me see what else. Yeah, just get yourself into lotus position just for now, and this is going to actually help us to facilitate the work here. Your higher self is going to be the one doing the healing, but I'm going to hold space and I'm going to translate, okay? So yeah, they're even showing me in the body that there's nerve pathways that are disseminating out like that, and they're also frayed. So I don't know, Source Conduit, if you have like inflammation in your nerves, or if you have nerve pain, or something that would feel kind of similar to arthritis, is kind of what they're showing me. It definitely feels frayed. And so that energy is not, it's not grounding, it's not moving through the system. It can feel quite chaotic. Okay. Let me know how that's... Anyway, okay. I'll just keep going. Yeah, your higher self is kind of doing like this energetic tube around you, is the way that I would describe it. It looks like an energetic sort of sheath that coats everything, and kind of like in hair commercials, if you have split ends and then there's something like a substance that goes over the hair and coats the strand, and then it like forms everything back together. I hope I'm explaining this well. I'm actively working with you on the floor. Okay, good. Good. So it's this sheath, this protective like energetic substance that is going to help you to get this frayed energy back. I have nerve issues and yes, inflammation. Okay. Yeah, because that's what they're showing me. So it's a result of the energetic inflammation that's going on. They did show me it's bidirectional. So the nerve inflammation does create energetic, chaotic dispersion is the word they just used, and also the other way around. So the chaotic energy can influence the nerves. So it's going in both directions. It's really hard to tell which one came first. It's like the chicken or the egg kind of situation here. But let's see. Yeah, the higher self is coding. And it's like expanding the lungs, because the nerves in the lungs were, I'm seeing, like short-circuiting almost. If you had problems breathing, it's like all the nerves in your entire body. Wow. Okay. It's localized in particular areas, so it's not going to be as symptomatic throughout the entire system. It's localized particularly in the extremities, but they're also showing it to me in the lungs. I'm seeing it a little bit in the digestive system as well. Source Conduit, yeah, this is pretty extensive. Yeah, it feels pretty extensive. Let me see if there's anything else, because they're doing the energetic assistance here. Your higher self is using that sheath to kind of unify everything and get it smoother. But I wonder if there's anything that you can do on your end, you know, physically, practically, that can help this. Yeah, they said not at this time, just simply focusing on resting and grounding. So it looks like you need more downtime. Source Conduit. Hi Cheryl, welcome. So Conduit, you really need to rest. I feel like you may be pushing yourself too hard, and you may feel like you're resting, but you're actually still pushing yourself a little too hard. And it's important that you find some time, or like carve out some time to just slow down and relax. They're showing me you lying down horizontally. So, you know, lying down in bed for an hour each day when you're not sleeping, just resting, can be really helpful, is what they're showing me. That's going to help you ground. If you can get like a grounding mat or a grounding bed sheet or a grounding line or something like that, grounding crystals even would probably be helpful, because they're showing me that the energy is not grounding. It's like, that's why it's so frayed and chaotic. It has nowhere to go, and then it sort of short circuits and blows the fuse or blows the wires. if that makes sense. Yeah, so it takes a while for the chat to catch up to what I'm saying, and I see you saying, "Is there something I can actually begin to do myself to heal?" And that's what I asked as well, and they were like, "Not really anything other than just taking some time to relax and dedicating time to lying down horizontally throughout the day." Especially when you feel tired, especially when you start to feel that pain in the joints, or if you're not breathing well, they really just want you to take that as an indication that you need to stop for a moment and listen to your body, because it's like this pushing too hard of the energy has caused this fraying of the nerves and the energy in the body, because it's all, but it's specifically, it's kind of like all through the midsection of your body is what I'm seeing. Okay, so let me see if there's anything else for you that we can do or that you can do. Yeah, you really just need more rest and quality rest is really being highlighted here, because if you're stressed, I think that would make it worse. Yes, I figured it's rest. I'm not able to rest at all, really, which is why I wanted to see what's going on to keep me from physically healing. Yeah. It's challenging because when you can't rest, but you need to rest to heal, I know it can feel like a dog chasing its own tail, because that's what they're showing me visually. That's the symbol. It feels like you're chasing your own tail and you can't catch it, and you're exhausting yourself trying to rest but not being able to, and then not healing because you're not resting. But what they're saying is, even if it doesn't feel restful, if you just lie down, it's going to signal to the body that it's rest time. Even if your mind is racing, even if you are feeling anxious the whole time, what they're showing me is just lie down horizontally for an hour each day. This is what Spirit is prescribing. It's so simple and it seems so sort of basic, but this is what they're recommending because it's going to signal to your brain. And the brain is the center of the chain here, and this is the central nervous system, right? That's the operating system for the entire nerve network. And they're saying that when you lie down horizontally, it signals to your brain that it's rest, even if your mind still goes off and off on different tangents and stuff like that. But you need more rest, and if you can get those grounding tools and implementing those while you're sleeping at night or when you're doing this resting, that's going to really help too. They say, I think I'm just going through a forced reprogramming, so I will definitely listen more. Thank you dearly. Yeah, it's a little bit more than a forced reprogramming for you particularly, Source. It feels like this has been going on for a long time, and it's not so much reprogramming in the same way as, the attunement that we were doing for Tiffany. It feels like your system is overloaded. I quite frankly, it does. It feels like your system is overloaded, and it's not really a higher self level thing. Like, it's not really to do with your ascension. It's not like an ascension symptom in that sense. I think it's something to do with your environment or your behaviors or your lifestyle, something like that. They're showing me kind of like the outside environment having a negative influence. The people around you could be contributing to this as well. It's basically like your nervous system is in fight or flight, but it's been in that for so long that it has kind of shot the system. It's like the wires can only handle so much electricity before they start to short circuit. So I would look to your environment and see where there is anything that can be alleviated, removed, changed, that is going to help you to feel safer throughout the day, less anxious, less restless. And that's going to help to promote the healing and the restfulness that you really need to just let these nerves heal, because they can heal. You can heal yourself. You just need the right environment and the amount of rest that you're requiring right now, which is actually quite a lot. So I hope that helps. Let me just double check and see if there's anything else. I would also look at air toxins. You're going through a divorce. Oh, yeah. That is stressful. Okay. So the emotional stress in the environment, plus there is some toxins in your environment as well, because they were showing me, I don't know if you have like asthma-like symptoms or maybe it's not presenting, but they're showing me something to do with the air. So you might want to get air quality checks in your home, maybe an air purifier, something like that, because it can help to, it's like your system needs a little bit of environmental support to help your body to do the healing that it can do. And the divorce is definitely not helping that. So again, just incorporating as much rest as you can through the day horizontally is best. Yeah. Okay. So I hope that that helps in your healing journey. I'm sending you so much love and healing energy to support you in this and to empower yourself to heal. Your higher self is fully on your side and backing you up. That sheath of protection is going to help, but they're telling me that it's temporary. So it is about cleaning up your environment, and that will help in the ultimate long-term healing of these pathways, okay? It'll help ground that energy. Okay, let me backtrack in the chat here. Danielle was next. I hope I'm saying your name right, Danielle. I always kind of feel, oh, I hope I'm not saying it wrong. Okay. You could use some energy healing, Danielle, and I'd also like to know what psychic abilities I have and how to strengthen them. Okay. And then Hawaii, asking about Hawaii. Let me just go down. Okay. And then some advice from husband's higher self. Okay, sometimes I can connect to the higher selves of those who are not physically present if they give consent at that higher level. So let me backtrack for you, Danielle. We're going to start with the energy healing and then we'll go from there. Okay, so okay, they're showing me your solar plexus chakra needs some help right now. There's like a big black density here, and that's nothing to be afraid of. I've seen that a lot in a whole host of different clients. Usually it is insecurity or disempowerment patterns of behavior that disempower you, doubting yourself, insecurity, things like that. It can really manifest as shame, self-doubt, or even guilt. And those lower, very dense emotions can kind of chill out here in the solar plexus chakra. You said, I thought so. Yeah. You trust your intuition because, you know, even though it's being clouded right now by some of that doubt energy, you can feel what's going on in your system. Okay, so let's see what they're recommending here for you. This is very much to do with standing up for yourself, is what they're saying, like having boundaries and being able to assert those boundaries and uphold those boundaries. Because sometimes setting a boundary or communicating a boundary isn't enough. We actually have to enforce it. We actually have to, you know, it's not enough to write a law. We actually have to have police go out and enforce the law and create and uphold punishments, you know, when the law is broken. So it's that kind of thing that I'm seeing here. Obviously, that's an extreme example, but it's more like an interpersonal thing for you is what I'm seeing, Danielle. So I would look at your relationship dynamics with other people. How are those kind of creating self-doubt for you by you kind of putting your needs on the back burner a little bit? Definitely a challenge for you. Yeah, okay. So like we can clear this energy out, but the problem is that if you don't have the tools to change the behaviors, that energy is just going to come right back. You know, it's like I can clean this thing, but if it's still going into the muddy environment or, you know, doing the same thing, then the car or whatever it is going to get dirty again. So I would recommend doing some research. They're showing me somebody typing furiously on a computer. So do some research on, oh, you have a narcissistic husband. Oh my God. Well, that explains a lot. Because and I didn't say it, and I probably should have, but they said in the beginning that your partner is not healthy for you. And I sometimes hold back saying certain things because, first of all, I don't know how it applies, so I don't want to assume. And second of all, when it's stuff that's really personal like that, I don't like taking a definitive stance like, you need to leave your husband, because that's not appropriate for me to say, right? But they did say that your relationship is dysfunctional. Please don't hold back, she says. I will try. I try to interpret as best I can, but sometimes, my own ego and my own fear and my own stuff can get in the way. So anyway, they did say that your relationship is not healthy, and now you've confirmed that. So, there's no amount of setting a boundary with a narcissist that will solve the problem. I've learned that through trial and error and my own personal experiences with many different narcissistic partners and also family members. So, in my experience, there is no boundary strong enough with a narcissist to prevent the damage that they cause, other than the boundary of physical space and disconnection, like estrangement or divorce or separation. Now, that's obviously a very black and white perspective, and it's not my place to tell you what to do. That's why I was hesitant about even going there in the first place. But I just have to say that it's up to you to make the decision for yourself and following your intuition to feel what feels right for you. But I can see energetically that this problem is not going to resolve itself with energy healing until your environment, it's kind of similar to Source Conduit, but very different circumstance, until your environment is cleaned up, because being in that relationship is just going to continue to perpetuate that pattern of, I'm seeing like self-gaslighting due to gaslighting that's actually being directed at you. I'm seeing a lot of self-doubt, self-shame, and really it's creating even more problems for you in asserting yourself, standing up for yourself, being the best version of you that you desire to be, and taking action, moving towards your goals. It's really preventing you from feeling successful in life, is what I'm seeing. Yeah, so I've tried several times to leave and then have thought of leaving in the middle of the night, so to speak. This is confirmation enough for me, so thank you. Okay. Well, Spirit will always bring through what you need exactly when you need it, and exactly when you're ready to hear it. So I hope that helps, Danielle. Now, you did have a couple of other questions. So in regard to Hawaii, that's what they're bringing me to next. You asked about Hawaii, and they're also showing me the psychic abilities question that you asked and how to strengthen your psychic abilities, and they're telling me those two things are connected. So sometimes we're drawn to particular locations on Earth because they hold a particular resonance for us at soul level. Maybe it's going to activate us. A certain gift will unlock when we're in that location, or there's people there who we really resonate with who are going to support us in our healing or our growth or our expansion. That's what I'm seeing here for you, is that Hawaii, whether you live there or not, has an energetic template. And that template is sort of like you pre-selected that prior to incarnation as a location that was going to activate you. So Hawaii for you, Danielle, is an activator. Is there a way I can draw that energy in? Yes, there is. Connect to people in that location, or connect to the location in general. So you can even just Google Maps, look at it. You can look at brochures, look at pictures, connect to the history. Really learning about Hawaii will connect you to its energy, because it's all in the mind, right? It's all consciousness, and it's all non-local. The quantum realm is not local. You don't have to fly somewhere physically to connect with a location's energy or with a person. That's how I'm able to do this work with you guys right now, because it's non-local. So you can connect to and benefit from the psychic activation, is what they just told me, psychic activation that Hawaii is bringing to you. Started listening to the music. Yeah, listening to music from Hawaii. Oh, that's perfect, because it's vibrational, right? It's frequency, and it holds that essence. So that's fantastic. That's really going to help you to expand. They're showing me specifically the third eye for you, and that is also going to help you to see the truth of certain situations and break free from these very toxic, dysfunctional relationship patterns that you've been stuck in this lifetime. And they did say in this lifetime. So it's, this is a big chunk of your soul journey here in this life, where you've been battling with these soul relationship dynamics. And the third eye activation is going to help you to stand in your own truth, to trust what you know feels right for you. And then when the solar plexus is healed and more active again, you're going to be able to take action on that. And sometimes we don't have to heal to be able to take action. Sometimes it's the other way around. Taking action can help us to heal. So follow your gut, literally, and also your truth, because the more that you investigate that information, that history, that cultural significance of the land and of Hawaii itself, you're really going to benefit. That's so cool. I love that for you. Okay. So yeah, Danielle, that's what I see. Let me see if there's anything else that you mentioned that I missed. Oh, and advice, and then you did ask about, right, advice from your husband's higher self. Okay. Ooh, yeah, I feel like I need to cleanse and clear if I'm going to even attempt to connect to that energy. So no, I can't. I'm sorry. I was not even, wasn't even at the door, and I'm already like, nope. I can't even touch the doorknob. It's like a hot doorknob, That is not a soul that you are going to be safe around. That individual is very, I don't use this word lightly, but toxic. And, my soul will not let me near those types of individuals because of how toxic, it's poisonous, right? Being in that environment or around, even connecting remotely to a soul like that, it is very, they immediately start to pull your energy out because they're disconnected from themselves. And that is their sort of food source energetically. And this is part of the divine balance of light and dark. There's nothing wrong with that in and of itself. But as a positively oriented soul, as you are and as I am, we do not do well around negatively oriented souls who seek to draw our energy out from us. You're getting lots of support from other members here on the channel. I love that. Thank you, Source Conduit, for that. So that energy is going to continue to be pulled out of you, whether you consent to it or not, as long as you allow this person to remain in your life. That is going to be a food source, and they probably won't want to let that go. That's why maybe you've had that idea of just leaving in the night. Don't give them a chance to gaslight you into staying, basically. I'll leave it there because this is a very sort of controversial subject and all of that, but I'm sending you the empowerment and the spiritual support. You have a team of angels, Danielle. Big spirit team on your side, because this is a very pivotal soul lesson for you. They said life lesson, but I said soul lesson. And I'm going to ask them what the difference is. They said no difference, but the reason that the verbiage was different, or the choice of language was different, was because life lesson, it does directly pertain to this lifetime. So it is this entire incarnation, but it doesn't go back. You didn't have experiences with narcissists or negatively oriented souls in past lives. So this is not a karmic pattern that you need to resolve in that same way. It is isolated to this lifetime. And that's why it's actually going to be that much more empowering for you to break this cycle that has been going on just in this incarnation alone, because you're not going to have to carry it forward. So if you look at it that way, this is a huge investment for you. And I know it's going to take a lot of courage to break free, but it's a huge investment for you long term at soul level, because you won't have to repeat this pattern in the lifetimes after this one. You're not going to have to struggle with these attracting negative souls to you and dysfunctional relationships as a result of not resolving it in this lifetime. So I would say bite the bullet, do it, while you can in this lifetime in a safe and healthy way. Make sure that you're supported and that you have people around you who you can turn to physically for protection. Get the legal teams involved, things like that. And then you're going to set yourself up so that you do not have to repeat that pattern. That's very important. That's why they're emphasizing this so much for you, because you don't want to repeat this pattern. And so your spirit team is supporting you in that choice at soul level. You don't want to repeat it. So you act accordingly. Like, you got this. You're doing great. Okay. Yeah, let me see. Good. You feel the love from the spirit team. They are all around you. You've got major backup. So know that, you can do this and you're going to be all right. You're going to be safe. It's not going to repeat and it's not going to become something that is harder to deal with, because when it becomes unconscious, when we have to start from scratch again, it's a lot harder to clear the karma when you don't know what started it. And then you have to do all of this introspection work. You have to look at patterns. You have to do past life healing. It's like a whole rigmarole. So it's a lot easier if you can just do it while you're conscious of what's happening in this lifetime. Okay. All right. So that's what I have for you, Danielle. I hope that helps. I'm sending you so much love, protection, and empowerment. Okay, let me scroll back up again so I can go in order. Okay, we looked at Tiffany, Source, and Danielle. Now I'm going to go to Mayella. I see you. Hi, Mayella. Welcome. I see you just joined the chat. Well, this is way back when you joined the chat before. If you're still here and you'd like some healing, let me know. Oh, you did ask. I feel like I timeline jumped yesterday and feel very ungrounded at the moment. So I'll take this grounding advice for myself too. Yeah, sometimes Spirit will do that. They'll give advice to other people that also applies to those of you who are here live. You're meant to hear that message. Or those who are watching in the future when it's not live, same thing. So take what resonates with you. But Mayella, I don't see anything else from you here in the chat. So if you do want something specific, if you have a question or you'd like some healing or something like that, let me know. Open to healing. Okay. Before we do that, they just reminded me that I was going to pull a card. Hello, Rosalie. Welcome. They just reminded me that I was going to pull a card for Source Conduit. Can I do that now, Spirit, or should I do Mayella first? Yeah, they said do Mayella first, and then we'll come back to that. Hopefully they'll remind me again, because sometimes, when I'm channeling and doing this kind of work, as you guys know, it's like my mind is like a sieve. Everything just kind of drops out of it. My memory is not grounded when I'm doing this work. Okay, so Mayella, let's just do some healing and we'll find out what's going on for you. Okay, I'm having trouble swallowing, like even just on the brink or on the verge of connecting to your energy. So it feels like there's something in the throat, but let me just take a drink of water and then we'll look. Yeah, it is throat chakra related. They're showing me somebody belting out a tune, and then they showed me birds, which birds, like, they sing, they chirp. It's very much throat chakra. They're also messengers of the divine, which is communication. That's throat chakra. So Mayella, what's going on with your throat chakra? The throat governs your ability to communicate and express yourself. It's all about authenticity and speaking from your truth. Your center is what the Spirit just said, speaking from your center and finding that and being able to express that in a way that does feel empowered and aligned. So let me just see what is going on here at the throat, or what they're recommending. Oh, they are recommending a card for you, Mayella, and it's interesting because they're saying the reason they had me wait to do Source Conduit's card is because you guys are actually going to get the same message. It's like this one card reading for Mayella is also going to apply to you, Source Conduit. Okay, so that's why they had me wait. And they're drawing me to the Tarot of the Divine. Thank you to the member who sent this in. Or the subscriber who sent this in. I don't know, when you guys send them in, I don't see who they're from in most cases. So I just, if you would like a shout out or anything like that, always just send me an email or a comment or something like that. But we've got 3 cards here for Mayella and Source Conduit. So let's take a look. You have the 2 of Cups. Okay. Relationships and love. You have the High Priestess. Beautiful. And the 10 of Coins. You guys, these are some amazing cards for you too, Mayella and Source. So, Oh yes, had a healing uh, crystal healing a few days ago and said the same thing. I've started teaching a program for energy workers that are mind oriented. Never shared this before. Good for you. Congratulations, Mayella. That's amazing. That is so awesome. Um, it's a 3-month program, so talking a lot. Okay. Yeah. So your throat chakra is just having to adjust because you're really stepping out of your comfort zone. You're interacting with people in a new way. You're using that gift in a more advanced way than you ever have, is what they just told me. So it's kind of like it's going to catch up, but it's getting a little bit rusty. So you know what you need is like a little bit, when your throat gets scratchy, you need a drink of water. It's kind of like that. You need something that's going to be that energetic drink of water for your throat chakra to help you to sustain this new level of activity there. Okay. Now let's take a look at your cards because that applies here. So the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is love, relationship dynamics. And I'm seeing this especially with the other cards here about you building a legacy in regard to your psychic abilities and your ability to relay information, because they are showing me the book in her hands. You're able to relay that psychic information or that wisdom from the divine or from the soul, directly from the soul. And they're saying source conduit, this applies to you in the same way, but it's a little bit altered because for you, it's more so about the stability of growth. And it's the grounding and the restfulness that's going to help you to connect to yourself. That's what the Two of Cups is talking about here. For Mayella, it's talking about connecting with other people and transmitting and sharing this information. For Source, it's talking about connecting with yourself, your body, creating more rest and healing. And that is going to help you balance things out. And then through that increased healing capacity, you're actually going to be more powerful in regard to creating structures in your life that are healthy, sustainable, and more long-standing, because that's what the Ten of Coins really talks about. Long-standing stability, growth, healing. They gave me the word progeny. So like your children, your children's children, your grandparents, your parents, all of that, the whole line. But yeah, Mayella, they want you to focus on cleansing your energy. They're showing me I think the little lamps in the background up at the top there. They are showing me, in churches when they have the incense in those little lamp things and they swing it around like that. It's basically like smudging or clearing the energy in a space. It's the same thing. And it's like blessing the space. That's what they're saying for you, especially since you're using your throat chakra more than you normally would. Making sure that you're clearing and cleansing before and after you're doing this group work is really important. I'm also seeing even just, they're showing me the smoke. So using smoke as a cleansing tool, but also water, smoke and water. So air and water elements are important for you. That's going to help. And hydrating yourself and quite literally just smudging and clearing the area and also yourself. That's what they're showing me is going to help to keep your throat chakra in good working condition. Let me see if there's anything else for you, Mayella. I'm just so excited for you because like I can feel in your energy that this is a big level up for you. This is a big upgrade and you're stepping into your soul purpose. So congratulations. I'm really, really excited for you. This is so much fun. Okay. You're really gonna blossom in this is what they're showing me. You're gonna grow so quickly and you might feel a little bit wobbly as you're doing it because you're going through this massive growth spurt, but just know that it's very divinely guided, very divinely guided. And it's so aligned. I love it. All right. Yeah. Okay. We can do a little bit of something here for the throat chakra. They're showing me, it's beautiful what they're showing me. Because I'm such a visual person and I see psychically like that, they showed me with like this bit of light on my finger, just gently touching your throat like that. And it was like blessing it. So blessing your throat chakra, okay? It's kind of like an attunement, kind of like an activation, but not in the intensive sense because you don't really need an attunement. You don't really need an activation. You're already doing it. I'm just going to bless your throat chakra because that's going to help you to really let it shine. That's all. It's going to increase your confidence, I think, in the short term. And then in the long term, you will have built that up on your own anyway, but it's like a little boost for you. Okay. You receive that. Okay. So let's do that now. I mean, we've already talked about it. So it's already happened beyond time and space, but I'm just really going to let that come through. There we go. Yep. It's like, throat chakra. Beautiful. And that's my primary energy at soul level. That's why I speak for a living. I communicate, I write, all of that. So I feel like you're very similar, Mayela. Even if it's not your primary, it's one of them. So yeah, really cool. Congratulations. Very happy for you. That's awesome. Okay, let me just put these cards away. Now where are we at here? Yeah, they do want one. Sorry. Before I go to the next question, for Source Conduit, they do want one card for you, just on your own, and it's this one. You have the 7th house, profound relationships, intimacy, and romantic partnerships. And since we did get the 2 of Cups there, that's very much 7th house kind of context. So you are being called to examine your relationships, Source Conduit. I think that we did talk about environment, and relationships can be a part of that. So, you know, the healing that you are really calling for and needing at soul level is very much in regard to your relationships. Now, it is the relationship primarily with yourself, first and foremost, because when we're talking about the heart chakra, and oh yeah, you did have something going on in your lungs, which is governed by the heart chakra. Ah, okay. Yeah. So it is about your relationship first and foremost with yourself. And the connection and dynamic you have with yourself is then translated or mirrored back to you through your relationship connections with other people. So if you neglect yourself, if you doubt yourself, if you judge yourself, or you're angry at yourself, or you belittle yourself, or you shame or guilt yourself, any of those things, you're going to see that mirrored back to you in your relationship dynamics with other people. If you push yourself too hard, you're going to see other people who push you too hard. Not always, you know, there are other people who are going to break that pattern for you and show you the way out. But I'm seeing here that you've kind of been stuck in a cycle, Source Conduit, of like this negative feedback loop of relationships. That seems to be a theme here today. I mean, not for everyone, but for those of you who it resonates with, they're wanting to talk about this for the group. So, there's a message there about reconnecting to yourself and healing the relationship with you so that you can have healthier relationships with other people. Okay. That's what they really wanted to say. Now I'm getting that feeling of, okay, we delivered the full message. Now we're good. Okay. Whew. Let me check back and see how we're doing here in the chat. Yeah. And Mayela, pertaining to the timeline jump, yes, you did. Because when you step into your power and you make these big physical changes in your life, like implementing this group program and stepping into your authentic expression in a whole new way, even though it feels a little bit, you know, shaky in the beginning and you're still kind of getting the hang of it, you're very much timeline jumping when you do that, because it's through our actions that we shift our vibrational frequency. And that is what dictates our timeline. Our timeline is really just a product of our current vibrational state. That's it. And it's not, and we can look at it in 2 different ways. This is kind of going off on a bit of a tangent here, but they're wanting me to talk about it. We can look at it in terms of in linear time, that there's all these branching off of these different timelines, and our vibrational frequency will dictate which one we fall on. But more accurately, what's actually happening is that we are creating that reality in front of us. So it's kind of like we walk through the simulation and it forms as a result of what we are perceiving, or how we're perceiving it, or what we're embodying. So it's not that you have all these timelines that you could land on. It's what you are doing and being right now is literally creating your reality. And you dictate the timeline. You create the timeline. You know, it's not just a choose your own adventure. It's like you're writing the whole story. So they just wanted me to say that. So somebody needed to hear it. Okay, now where are we? I'm going to scroll down in the chat. Okay, I hope. Okay, I see Rosalie. Kitty's in the background. I'm not sure if you saw my question on the reminder or members tab or if you already covered it. Rosalie, I don't think I did. No, I don't. I wrote down all of the questions that I saw on the members tab. I didn't see it there. So if you could just type it into the chat for me, that would be great. And then we can go into that for you. So Rosalie, if you could do that, if you're still here. Sorry guys, if I miss your questions either in the live chat or on the community boards or anything like that, you can always just shoot me an email. The contact form is in my the description box of my videos. Because sometimes, for whatever reason, I don't see them. There's just so many comments all the time. And even though my inbox on my emails is a little bit sort of overwhelming right now too, I'm doing my best to kind of keep on top of things. But I do have a hard time with that sometimes. Okay. Leslie. Oh yeah, Rosalie, you're still here. So let me know, Rosalie, what your question was, because for whatever reason I didn't see it there. So while you're typing that out, I'm just gonna read some more of the chat here. Leslie says, "Hello, Shevon. Hope you had a wonderful vacation. Loved the pic of you with your grandma. Yeah. Thank you, Leslie. I really did. I needed that. I hadn't been home in 5 years, and I hadn't seen my yaya, and she's 90 now, so I really wanted to spend as much time with her as I possibly could, and it was so healing for me to be with her physically in that home that I remember from being a child. And it was just like we really bonded and connected on a much deeper level than, because I grew up on the other side of the country very far away from her. So I never really, she didn't get to see me grow up and really form into the woman that I am. So it was really nice to spend time with her. Okay, Rosalie, I'm still having issues opening to the heart, and there's been literal tragedy after tragedy in my family life. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Deaths, cancers, literally like 20 things the last 2 weeks. Wow. So messages from higher self, blueprint coordinates. I'm feeling called to ask you for that. I feel like there's a disconnection somewhere from me receiving guidance on my own. Okay. Let me cleanse. Okay. Wow. I'm so sorry to hear that, Rosalie. You've got, funerals, and that's, of course, you're going to have a hard time with the heart when you're going through so much loss. Okay. So let me just tune in. We may pull some cards for you as well, Rosalie, but I'm feeling like I need to check in what's going on energetically and at soul level, because there's something big happening here. And I don't know what it is. So let's see. Whoa. Okay, this is not literal, but they're at least I hope not, but they're showing me an earthquake. It's like the ground is falling out from underneath you. The world that you once found stable is shaking. And that's pretty standard, right? Given what you've described as happening right now in the last 2 weeks, to have that many things happening and deaths and things like that. So I'm wondering why this is all happening in such a condensed period of time. Yeah, it's like they're saying that there seems to be an opening, because that's what they were playing over and over in my head, was there seems to be an opening. So what is this opening, Spirit? Oh, am I interpreting that correctly? Okay. Sorry, hold on one sec, because they're showing me things and I'm trying to guess at what they're meaning by the symbols that they're showing me, and they told me, no, I'm not interpreting that correctly, so I won't even say it because it wasn't accurate, but I want to keep trying here. Okay, they're showing me a drop off point. And it's like the earth opens up and there's a drop off point. And they said these people can't come with you. Okay. Sorry, I'm like seeing with my eyes open right now. I'm not just staring off into space. They're continuing to show me like the ground opens up and these people like fall into it, but not in a I mean, I hope it's not in a bad way like that, but the metaphor does seem quite intense. But you know what it feels like to me is yeah, there's like a timeline split happening. Yes, that's more accurate. Okay, so there's a timeline split happening for you, Rosalie, and it's like these people were on their own timelines and they had sort of prearranged some of them, not all of them, to drop off at this certain point, and you're going in a different direction entirely. So to have all of these sort of cataclysmic things happen in such a short period of time is it's kind of like a gateway, but that's not really the right. That's why it's not the best. There's not I can't think of another word for it, but it's kind of like that. Um As we were in the cemetery today, a rainbow appeared in the clouds. I felt dragons. We're waiting for a hurricane to come tonight, too. Oh my God. Yeah, it's like one thing after another for you. So, first of all, the rainbow is, in this case, an indication of the rainbow bridge, and the dragons connect to the 12th dimensional realm and other realms as well. But I'm seeing that it's almost like they are helping to bridge the gap into this new timeline for you specifically. They're not in control of what these other souls have chosen for themselves, either consciously or unconsciously. But for you, you are bridging into something else. You're bridging into, yeah, I keep seeing that gateway, but it doesn't feel like the right word. Maybe bridge is just a better word than a gateway. It's like you're just moving onto this bridge where this timeline split is happening, and those who were at a particular vibration or something like that, they're not able to come with you. So they quite literally leave your life. Now, I remember reading, who was it? Dolores Cannon? Yeah. Dolores Cannon talking about, the two world split, the old earth and new earth, the timeline splits, things like that, and people getting really confused about how that would work in terms of, well, do the people just disappear? Do they die? Do they just stop contacting you? Do you just kind of, your lives just diverge like that, where you still have awareness that they're alive, but they're just not really friends with you or connected to you anymore? And what I'm seeing for you is that it's a very drastic split. For some, it's very gradual and it's a transition that they wouldn't really notice. Maybe you just stop texting that person and they go off on about their business and so on and so forth. But for you, they're showing me it's like a very hard and fast, drastic split where you hit this timeline point of no return, basically. And all the people who you were connected to directly or indirectly, is what they just said, they have chosen what they've chosen. You were there to. Did you mention that you're a blueprinter? Because what they're showing me is like you being there to try and. They just said right the wrongs or correct the timelines. I don't know. I feel like honestly this is like a little bit above my pay grade as a soul. Like, I'm not a blueprinter, so I don't know how all this stuff works, but it feels like you were trying to help these people in some way energetically at soul level, and then all of a sudden this sort of hard and fast stop point happens. You're a blueprint coordinator, right? Okay. Yeah. So your job is then to coordinate, where are these souls going? Things like that. And can they come into this new creation of timeline, the new earth, or whatever you want to call it. And there were many of them who just, they chose not to consciously, intentionally, or not, just through their choices, right? But those are the people who have fallen away, and through death in this case. Yeah, they keep telling me point of no return. So it's like a jumping off point for souls to exit, basically, exiting this level of the matrix because they can't get to the next level. They can't walk that bridge. They haven't done the work yet. They need to go elsewhere, either to another planet to incarnate in a different lower dimensional realm that's going to help them to work through the lessons and the karma and things like that. Or, nope, not staying on the old earth. No, they say it's not going to be habitable. So yeah, it will be a different planet for those souls. Okay, this is pretty high level stuff. Wasn't expecting that. But blueprinters, yeah, that makes sense, because the blueprint group is very much concerned with the ascension and evolution of humanity. So that's what you were doing there with that. So, I mean, as hard as this is for you and your human self to endure, what they're showing me is like it's almost like it's just business. You did what you could. You helped who you could in the ways that you could, and you did manage to bring some people or help them to have the tools to be able to cross the bridge when the time is, and the time is kind of like now. So it was successful in some cases, but others not so much. But it's not even like that is a failure or a loss, because souls are infinite, and if they just need to go somewhere else, that's fine. You know, it's not going to change at the end of the day that they come back to source. We all will end up there. So yeah, if that can give a little bit of perspective. I know that it's kind of a little cut and dry, but I hope that, you know, that can give a little bit of that bird's eye perspective around what you were doing at soul level and why this is all happening and sort of converging in this very condensed period of time, because it is a cutoff point at soul level for whatever reason. And you're moving on to the next realm, and some of those people cannot. So I'm sending you lots of love, because I know how hard that can be at the human level, at the heart level. So actually, before we move on, I do want to send you some healing for the heart. I think that will just do a little bit of good here. So Rosalie, I'm just going to connect at soul level, and I'll see if I can get some consent to give you a Reiki boost at the heart chakra. They actually said no, not at this time. Okay, why is that? They said there's more work to do. What does that mean? They said she needs to grapple with the grief, as this is part of the job. So me coming in with Reiki healing, it's like taking away some of that grief, which is what I want to do. But they said it's like it's part of the job description to grapple with the grief, which that sucks. I mean, personally, that sucks. So let me see if there's anything else we can do, because I don't want to just leave you high and dry like that. That really sucks. They said, I can't interfere energetically in what's going on with you, but I can just give you a hug. Okay, so I'm going to just hold space for you, because that is the healing that I'm allowed to provide. Okay, so energetically, Rosalie, I am giving you a hug. So there I am, just wrapping my arms around you, letting you know that you are valued and you're not alone. You are doing good work for the collective. Thank you so much. I want you to know that you're loved, very loved, deeply loved and appreciated. And everything's going to be okay. And you know this at soul level. You are beyond strong. You are what strength is made of. So, yeah. If that can help you to deal with the grief, then I hope that will be enough. Hug. Yeah, hug. Oh, love you. I hope that helps. Okay, so let me see. All right. Sorry, let me just ground really quickly. That was a lot. Even just being in your energy, Rosalie, I can feel how overwhelming that is. And I'm so sorry because now I'm also feeling a little. So I just need to ground a bit. Okay, that's better. Really, it only takes a second to ground sometimes, you know? But thank God for that. So, where are we? Cooley Art. Hello, all. I didn't think I could make it live today. I'm thrilled. I do have a question about my health issue. I have tendinitis on my right shoulder, which started 6 months ago. And and then it stops. Hold on. I don't see anything else. You're so welcome, Rosalie. Okay, so where was that? Sorry, I get a little lost in the chat sometimes because I have to scroll back up to the older. There it is. So Cooley Art, tendinitis. Okay, that's pretty much all I need to know. So Cooley Art, let's take a look. Yeah, I'm just gonna do a double cleanse here. Okay. Tendinitis. They're showing me it in your ankle, your right ankle. Is that where it is, or is that something else? Because they're showing me, they're like pointing a big arrow at the right ankle. But I don't even really know what tendinitis is. I know what the tendons are. They kind of hold your bones together, I think. Thank you, shoulder top. Oh, okay. Let me ask because they're still showing that to me, even with my eyes open. They're still showing me the right ankle. So, how is that connected to the shoulder? Let me ask. Right. It's not directly connected, like literally the tendon doesn't go from your shoulder to your ankle, but what they're showing me is like a domino effect. So, it's indirectly connected. The pain you're feeling in your shoulder is somehow correlated or connected to what's going on in your ankle. And I don't know if you actually have ankle issues or if you twisted it at some point, or I don't know. They just keep showing me the right ankle. Okay, well, let me just ask before I start. Just sometimes I try to guess and I'm like, just ask, just let them show me. Okay, they're showing me something crunching. Inflammation of tendons, no ankle issues that I know. Okay, they're just showing me something like crunching and they're showing me walking on gravel. So I don't know what is going on there with that and why they're showing me that or how that's relevant, but there's something to do with the ankle and something crunching. There could be like, maybe there's a wearing down of the joint and it's like rubbing bone on bone or something like that. But you would feel that, I would think, right? But they keep showing me somebody walking on gravel. Okay, Spirit, is that a metaphor or is that literal, please? Because sometimes I can't tell the difference. Oh, that's literal, they said. That's literal. So it's literally you walking on gravel. This could have happened when you were walking on gravel. You might have just like ever so slightly tweaked something and not even noticed it because you have pain radiating elsewhere in your body. If you have tendon issues, it's kind of like it was pre-existing. So this isn't what caused it, is what they're saying. The ankle thing isn't what caused it. But it's directly related to the shoulder pain. So it might have been around that time, if you were walking on gravel, that you tweaked something, didn't notice, but it changed your gait, is what they're showing me. It changed your walk. And because your gait is different, you're like unconsciously trying to protect that little bit of wound or whatever it is in the ankle. And then it's changed your, like the spinal structure and the way the shoulder blades are sitting. This is like a whole system type of thing. It's like one thing and then it just boom, 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 boom. I don't even know. Let me ask what they're recommending here, because I would say go to, um, I almost want to say like a functional doctor. Is that a thing? Or I don't know if a chiropractor would look into that, or something like that, maybe doing some scans. But yeah, there's something going on in the right leg, right ankle, related to the shoulders, related to the tendons, something about walking on gravel. So I don't know, hopefully that will make sense to you. Maybe later on you'll have a sit with it and something will come back into your memory. I don't know if this is, I never know with spirit. I just translate the messages and hopefully I interpret them correctly. That's all I ever can do. But let me ask what we can do, if anything, physically for you, Cooley Art. And did you say it's the, where is that? Shoulder. Okay, yeah, anyway, let me just see. Is it in the right shoulder? Because it's feeling like it's here energetically, but it's, I don't know if you're seeing a doctor, doing exercises, pain does not leave. Okay. Get them to look at your gait. That's what spirit is telling me. And I mean gait as in gait, G-A-I-T. Yes, right shoulder. Yeah, right shoulder. Okay, that's what I was feeling. So get them to look at your walk, because that is what's causing it. That's what spirit is telling me, and that's what they're telling me to tell you. Your walk is off, and it's throwing off the entire system. And this could have been years ago that you were like walking on gravel or running on gravel or something like that, and something just tweaked a little bit, and then it took years to manifest as this other issue that seems completely unrelated. But what they're showing me is that it was you walking on gravel. You twisted something a little bit but didn't notice, but unconsciously your body tried to kind of cushion it by walking differently, and then that became a pattern, and that just became the way you walk now. And then it resulted in this issue in your shoulder, in the tendons. Okay, so I hope that you can get a doctor to find something and then give you treatment specifically for that, because trying to treat the localized area of the symptom is not going to cause the issue to go away. The pain's going to continue, everything's going to still be there because you're not treating the root of it, which is right down there in the ankle, and it's how you're walking. I hope that helps. Okay, let me see if there's anything we can do for pain. Yeah, they told me I can do some energetic anesthesia. I do not recall, but thank you for your insight information. Thank you. You're very welcome. Okay, so we can do some energetic anesthesia for you, Cooley Art, because this is not something that's necessarily aligned with your divine expression. This is a result of something that happened. It does need to be treated, but it's not karmic or anything like that. This is just one of those random things that sometimes happens. We're humans. It's not all completely divinely planned. We can have free will and do something that, whoops, okay, now it's off and we need to rebalance it. So what they're telling me we can do is a little bit of energetic anesthesia to help to reduce some of the inflammation specifically, which will also help to reduce the pain. But they are really recommending that you find a doctor who is willing and able to look for the root in your gait and in your ankle, because you might have some doctors say no, there's nothing wrong, because they don't do a thorough enough check, but they're saying keep going until you find the one that finally sees it and then can give you the information about what you need to do. Okay, so yeah, anyways, this anesthesia energy is coming in now. I'm just kind of like drenching it all over, like pouring this liquid light onto you to help calm the tendons, calm the entire system. It's a structural system thing. Yeah, the whole structural system. So like bones, tendons, muscles, they're all involved here. And that's why it's like this one thing, such a little thing, can cause this chain reaction. It's a domino effect. But if you treat it at the source, maybe you need like an ankle brace, or you need particular insoles, or you need to train the muscles in a particular way, functional movement, and physiotherapy in specific in regard to your gait and the ankle is what they're showing me is going to help. So I really, really hope that that helps you to heal. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you, Cooley Art. Okay, let's see. Big hugs for everyone. Let me see how much energy I have. Where are we at? We're at 80 minutes. I know we have a lot more questions in the, well, not a lot more, but I think there's a few more in the chat here from a couple of you guys that that have asked questions before. You're welcome. Was there anybody, you're very welcome. Was there anybody that I missed that put something in the chat? I think I got everyone at least once. Let me just double check. Leslie, did I get Leslie? Oh, she just mentioned about my grandma. All right, but did you have anything you wanted looked at, Leslie? Because Sacha, where was your question? Oh, there. Guidance regarding your career. Thank you, Sacha. The next move to make. I'm confused right now. I'm a social worker, if it can guide you, but I also love arts. Ah, okay. Let's get cards for you, Sacha. Oh, this one really wanted to come out. You got the 4 of discs and it fell down onto my lap. So whenever that happens, it's an indication that it needs to be anchored or grounded, or it's particularly heavy or dense energy. And the 4 of Pentacles is very much a grounded, practical, very stable energy. The energy of 4 always reminds me of a chair, like the 4 legs of a chair or a table that really hold everything up. It's like the 4 pillars of this pergola holding up the roof, right? So I feel like right now, in regard to your career, the next move would really be to create some kind of stability for yourself, like save your money, because the 4 of Pentacles can quite literally speak about saving money, putting money into your savings account, maybe even doing a little bit of budgeting in regard to your spending habits, because there's some kind of stability that you're needing here. And I'm feeling like it's related to a change. You know, it's like the stability that you need to be able to make some kind of change. If you're not feeling aligned with social work anymore, you have the Queen of Wands, which is all about creativity and the arts. And you did mention that you love the arts. Okay, so this could be a career transition for you, Sacha. This could be you shifting from social work and going into the arts, and divine expression is what they just said. Divine expression. Yeah, you're meant to be creative. You're meant to be a creator. But to do that, you need to have the financial stability to carry you through as you make this transition. That's why they're recommending that you save your money right now. Work, save your money, squirrel it away, and then launch yourself into this next phase. Now, it's interesting that we don't have the Page of Wands. We don't have the Knight of Wands. We have the Queen of Wands. So you're not going to be starting at like a base level artistic expression. You're really going to step into an elevated form of expression, is what they just said. Elevated form of expression, which is going to help to, they just said, liberate your soul. And they also gave me the word alleviate. So it's going to alleviate some of the stress. This could even be like art therapy for you, in terms of like the more that you create and are channeling this energy out of you by making things or doing things that allow you to express your creativity, you're actually going to heal, because I can see that the social work has really kind of taken a toll on you. Being in service to others in a very hands-on way like that, it's like being on the front lines, you know, and it's like being in the ER. You're constantly run off your feet. You're taking on the challenges of others emotionally and sometimes even physically, and it can wear you down. And I'm seeing that you have carried a heavy, heavy burden. It's kind of like 10 of Wands energy is what they're showing me. And here we have the 9 of Wands. She's naked, so I'll cover her up. But, you know, I was going to say, yeah, 10 of Wands, and here you have the 9 of Wands right before it. So you've got some stuff that you've been carrying around of your own, and especially from other people. So that's why they're saying, and they're recommending a transition when you're ready. Don't push yourself before you're ready. But yeah, make sure that you have that stability in place. Make sure that you have that little nest egg for yourself. And then as you feel called, being able to transition. Yes, I burned out recently. Yeah, I can feel that. You've taken on a lot. And some of that was your responsibility with that job. Yes. But a lot of it was also because you didn't have an outlet. I feel like you got really busy and then you weren't able to do as much as you wanted to in the creative fields or maybe even just in life, you know? I feel like you've had to almost like ration your energy. And I know that feeling because that's what happened to me too when I hit burnout. Compassion fatigue is a real thing, and energetic, sort of taking on of other people's things. Child protective worker. Oh my God. You know, my aunt did that, Sacha, and she really struggles now in retirement because she's still having to unpack all the things that she saw and the stress of those environments. And oh my God, I can't imagine what you've been through. So it's no surprise to me that you are in this position where you have these burdens that you've been carrying around and they're heavy. And you've done such beautiful work for those children, for those families that you were able to intervene and to protect. So thank you for that. And it's also important that you protect yourself. In this case, they're saying to create that stability for yourself. And I did just hear the word retirement, so I don't know what age or what stage of the game you're at right now, but this could be making an investment for, planning for retirement and eventually being able to retire. But instead of retiring and not working at all, transitioning to this creative artistic endeavor or expression. Because it's very much aligned with your divine self. This creativity is what they're showing me. Yeah, that's going to be the best thing for you. So I hope that helps. Where am I at here? Yeah. Okay, so let me see if there's anything else. No, that's what they wanted to say. Okay, yeah. So just getting yourself kind of prepared, doing some planning, securing your nest egg, and then when you're ready, which may not be for a while or it might be soon, I don't know. But it's going to help you to transition and to really release some of those burdens and heal and protect yourself as well, because you've done good work. And it's also important that you care for yourself. Okay. Ariel. Oh, yay, I made it. Let me know if there's still time for questions. Yes, Ariel, I can take one more question. And I know that some of you guys have asked second or third questions in the chat. I'm not going to have the energy to do those today because I'm going to take one last one from Ariel since this will be her first question of the session. And then I have 3 questions to get to from people who weren't able to make it live. So Ariel, if you want to go ahead and shoot your question in the chat there, we'll do that. And then I have the 3 people who were not able to make it live. And then I'm going to sign off for the day because we're at 88 minutes. On the dot, I looked up and it was 88. Spirit numbers. But yeah. Ariel, I feel a big timeline change. I would love some direction from Spirit. Wow, you're not the first one to mention timeline shifts. That's come up, I think this is the 3rd time in this live stream. So Ariel, let's find out what's going on for you in this timeline change. Yeah, they showed me somebody altering course. They showed me somebody on a ship, you know, those like old ship wheels with the wooden things and they're like pulling it like this. So I see you altering your course, Ariel. And it feels like it's like a very minor adjustment, but with an airplane or a ship, you can change the progression by, like a very small increment. And it's going to make a huge difference in where you end up. So that's what they're showing me is like it's a very small change that you've made. It's a very small adjustment, but it's going to make a huge positive impact in your life because it's like you can alter your course trajectory by 1 degree and end up like 1,000 degrees off from where, you would have been before with the old direction. Does that make sense? I'm trying to explain what they're showing me in my mind. And that's what it is. Like you've course corrected to a different location, but it's a small degree, but it's going to take you completely somewhere else. But it's going to be fabulous is what they're showing me. And I'm like getting this like bubbly excitement. Like I feel like there's champagne bubbles in my stomach right now. It just feels exciting, and it feels really fun. That's what I want to say. Like it feels super fun. Like you're really gonna enjoy it. You're really gonna like where you're going. Yeah, and you wouldn't have ended up there if you stayed exactly on course to where you were going before, but you altered your course. And wow, yeah, you're gonna love it. I don't know if they're gonna let me give detail. Let me ask. They said I can pull cards and they want me to intuitively select a deck. And I think it's this one. The Moonology deck for you, Ariel. So, let me just knock before you enter. Knocking on the decks just clears the energy, resets it a little bit. Okay, so for Ariel. Yeah, you released some negativity. It's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. This could have even been around the full moon in Scorpio. I don't remember when that was or if that's coming up or what, but you released some negativity and that altered your course. So that's why it's like you've timeline shifted, and you through your action have created this new potential that's going to come in. Ooh, that's so exciting. And you have full moon in Cancer, so 2 water signs. A personal issue reaches resolution. So if there was an issue that you were struggling with, Ariel, I see that this course correction is bringing you to the resolution. And it's, like I said, it's going to be really fun. And it's going to be, I just heard the word flirty. Fun and flirty. Maybe this is relationship based. I mean, the 2 water signs here do speak of emotions. So it's giving me like cups energy, 2 of Cups, the Lovers. I don't know if this is relationship related. It feels like it's going to be very fun and flirty for you. If not, then it's something just that you're really going to emotionally enjoy, because you're releasing the negativity and you're opening up space to experience the real, I just heard the word validation. Yeah, it's going to be very validating for you. Very validating. And you're going to be able to take off your shell is what they're showing me, because both of these water signs, Cancer and Scorpio, have shells. They have hard shells. Pisces is the only one that doesn't. And they said that you're going to be able to take off your shell. So where you felt like you needed to constantly kind of defend yourself or protect yourself, this does feel relationship centric. Let me know if you want to, if you feel like sharing. If not, that's totally fine. But yeah, it feels relationship centric for you, and you're going to be able to let down your hair, like take off the armor and really enjoy yourself. Yeah, it feels fun. If you know what I mean. Like, it's going to be great. So I hope that makes sense for you, Ariel. That sounds amazing. Great timeline shift. I'm married with 4 young kids, and it has been hard. Yeah, so releasing some of the negativity has altered your course then to be able to reconnect with your partner in a very fun and flirty way. I feel like you guys are going to be going on a trip. I just have to say that. Maybe you get someone to watch the kids, or maybe the kids come with you. I don't know. But I feel like it's like rekindling something, and yeah, it's going to be really fun. Okay? I'll leave it at that. I don't want to get personal with, don't want to put you on blast here. Oh, it's 3:33 p.m. I looked at the time and it's 3:33. So that seems like a good place to transition to the written in questions. So I hope that helps, Ariel. Thank you so much for being here. Yay, I love the bubbly energy that's happening right now. Yeah, that's what it feels like, bubbly and super fun. So really excited for you, because I can feel how much you're going to enjoy it. And I love that. Okay, so one more cleanse, and then I'm just going to get to the written in questions for those who are on different time zones, because I know that PST is very different when you're, on the other side of the world and it's like the middle of the night or something like that. So Nancy asks for healing support guidance regarding her authentic expression and how to connect and express more to her most authentic self. And for those of you who are still here watching, or who are watching the replay, remember that spirit will often answer questions for other people that have messages for you as well. So they will like pull out all the stops to get as much information across to as many people who it applies to as possible. So if something resonates, take that as well. So Nancy's asking for healing and support regarding her authentic expression. So let me just tune into Nancy. Yeah, we have another throat chakra similar to, who was it now? Sorry, I can't remember. My mind when I channel is like blank. So there was somebody else here, we were talking about the throat chakra. So Nancy, same thing. And I remember now that they're jogging my memory that the last live stream we had, Nancy wrote in a question about her business, and what I was being shown was the throat chakra. So something about communication. Definitely authentic expression is important. The throat chakra is all about authentic expression. So finding your authentic expression, Nancy, is really about feeling your way through it, because what they're showing me is actually quite literally like a blind person, with the glasses on and the stick, but instead of having the stick and feeling their way there, they're kind of like using their hands to feel. So it's your senses, not necessarily your physical hands, but it's using your senses and your feeling perception to guide you through the process of finding what feels right for you, and then kind of doubling down on that and authentically expressing yourself. It is, a bit of trial and error is kind of what they're showing me. And it's a process of elimination is also what they just said. Process of elimination. So being able to feel your way through what feels right and what feels wrong to you is going to help you to know who you are authentically, because this is really about you discovering for yourself what your authentic voice actually sounds like, who you actually are at your core, and how you want to express, because a lot of that is also free will. You get to choose how you want to express who you are, because who you are doesn't really change. I mean, we can evolve it, we can grow it, we can expand on that, but you can express it in many different ways. Like, my authentic expression doesn't have to be confined to writing a book. It doesn't have to be confined to singing a song. It doesn't have to be confined to this particular way of talking to these people. It's everything and then some. And it's through these conduits that we can express ourselves, but some of them will feel more natural than others. And what they're recommending for you, Nancy, is feeling intuitively, again, feeling your way through these different options that are available to you, and discerning which one feels better, because each one might feel good, but which one feels best? And this is where the free will really comes in. And they want you to really they're emphasizing the free will really heavily here, because it is about you choosing for yourself how you want to express. So I can't tell you how to do that because I'm not you, but I can give you that guidance around feeling your way into discerning what does feel best for you and what really gives you the most open expression, because this form of expression might give you this much, and this one might give you this much, and this one might give you this much. So, this one feels great, and it allows me to express even more. So let's do more of that. And it might change, right? Sometimes you really resonate with one form of expressing yourself. Like, I love painting. It really allows me to express myself. And then you begin to identify as a painter. And then sometimes your soul will go, okay, that's enough of that. Now let's try something else. And you kind of have to mentally untangle yourself from the identification to that expression, because you are not the paintings or the painter even. You are the art behind that. You are the authentic self at the core of what you then expressed and created. So it's kind of like letting yourself be a little bit malleable. And they keep giving me that example of trial and error. It's kind of a little bit of process of elimination to find a way that suits you best, not necessarily even a modality or an artistic expression, but I just mean like a way of expressing yourself that feels aligned and that feels good, because that's really what it boils down to. Does it feel aligned? Does it feel good? And see, Danielle says this totally answers my question about career. See how spirit will answer questions for multiple people through one question. So, it's interesting because they will guide you to ask a particular question that pertains to your own situation, because they know it will also help others too. So sometimes they will prompt you to ask that question at a particular time because there's multiple people in the group that are dealing with that too. We're all connected. We're all soul group. which actually leads me into the next question from Anna. And she's asking about information pertaining to the group, which I'm assuming she means the soul group here on the channel, just by the way she phrased the question. And that's kind of what I was just talking about, is that we are all part of a soul group, you know, us here on the channel. If you're drawn to my channel, especially to the membership side of the channel, which is more intimate, you are part of this soul group, and we all resonate at that frequency level, which means that we're all kind of dealing with similar themes. We might have a lot of different particulars and situations, but we actually have a lot of commonalities and themes within our soul journey at this time. And that's why we're all here, to walk each other home, right? The more we come together and intentionally, consciously heal, the more that we benefit each other. It's a symbiotic relationship. It's a win-win situation. And as I always say in my readings and with clients, win-win situations are spiritual alignment. So when we all come together in this way, we are helping each other to heal through our connection. Hey, soul family, says Danielle. Yeah, you guys, we're all soul family. Let's connect and get the conversation going, support each other, you know, go off in the comment section on the members' readings, really get to know each other, because we're here helping each other to heal. And that's the purpose of my channel. It's the purpose of the readings. And I'm so thankful that you guys are here and on this journey with me. So Anna also asks about being drawn to American stuff. Now, I'm Canadian, but technically we are still in the Americas. Like Canada is North America. So, okay, I'll give you that, American stuff. But being drawn to American stuff, and I'm assuming she's not from America, because she says that she feels called to stay put where she is, which I'm assuming is somewhere, a different country. So, Anna, this is sort of similar to what I was saying before, in regard to the energy of locations. We were talking about Hawaii and how that related to Danielle. And for you, Anna, you have a soul level connection, or they just use the word affiliation. You have a soul level affiliation to people specifically, not so much the land. For Danielle, it was more the land. But they're showing me, for you, Anna, it's the people. You have a connection to the souls that reside in the Americas. And there are many of them, is what they're showing me right now. Yeah, there's like hundreds of them. So these could be people that you watch online, people that books you've purchased. That's what they're showing me, you reading books. These are people's energy that you're interacting with. When you watch a video, you're interacting with my energy. When you read a book from someone, you're interacting with their energy, right? And so there's a reason for that. Now I'm wondering what that is. Yeah, it is your spiritual expansion. They said consciousness expansion, not spiritual expansion. So I do want to correct that, because they're similar, but they're telling me it's a little different in the sense that it's expanding your mind, which does help you to evolve spiritually. But specifically, it is about expanding your mind. And it's through alternate cultures that we can expand our mind in this way, because different cultures have different like ways of thinking. Even if we look at language, you know, certain languages will have a word for something that another language just doesn't even have anything to translate it to. And it's because that whole entire culture has a different way of thinking. They have completely different foundations of thought and consciousness. And it's through those cross-cultural breaking down of the barriers and connecting and learning through interaction, even if it's remote. You don't have to be physically in the Americas to connect with them, to that energy. You can really see the change in your consciousness and your expansion just through connecting to different ways of thinking from different cultures. So I hope that makes sense. That's what they're telling me. So, you know, follow where your intuition is guiding you, follow where your mind and your curiosity is taking you. Hey, Janine, Inner Sky Alchemy, welcome. Good to see you, girl. So Anna, really just let yourself and your curiosity guide you to the people and the particular cultures and the mindsets that are calling you in the Americas. You don't have to travel there to connect to it. It can be through your interactions online, through the content you're consuming and things like that. If you ever feel called to travel and visit, Of course, feel free. I think you would have a great time. But yeah, you're where you need to be, is what they just said. You are where you need to be. That's why you feel intuitively that you don't want to leave your home country, and that's fine. You don't need to, because you're already getting the benefit of connecting cross culturally in this way. Okay, really cool. Love that. And Janine, yes, I will do one last question for Janine, because she is like an old school supporter of my work, and I know that we have an upcoming session together, Janine, but I will answer your question in a second. I just have one more written in, then we'll do Janine, and then I'm going to sign off, because um, I'm getting tired. I'm already starting to sweat. My body's like overheating because I've been doing so much channeling. So, one last question from the write ins, and then we'll get to Janine. So, Rachel asks for support for herself and family members experiencing depressive episodes and fear, which has been leading to stagnation. Now, I know Rachel personally. She's actually a close friend of mine and such a beautiful soul. And she's really been struggling. And I won't go into the details of what that is because it's very personal to her. But let's all together, if we can, that's what they're calling me. They're showing me a circle in my mind, and energetically we all join hands, and let's put Rachel and her family and her friends and that are struggling with this emotional grief, really is what it is. It's grief. Let's put them in the center of the circle. Let's all join hands around, and collectively, with our intention, let's focus love and healing towards Rachel. Okay, so sending that love, kind of like a Care Bear stare. Okay, we all join hands and then we project that love. So visualize it in whatever color, rainbow, beam of light, sparkles, bubbles, whatever you want. Have fun with it, and let that project out of your heart and into the center of the circle to Rachel and all of her friends and family who are struggling with this grief due to the situation that happened. Okay, and really fill up the circle. So try and get that energy all the way to the other side, the person who's projecting their energy from the opposite end as you. Really have those two fields of love meet in the middle until the entire inside of the circle is full. Keep going, keep going. There we go. It's getting there. It's about 3/4 of the way full right now. You guys are doing such a great job. Thank you so much for your support here. It's together that we heal, really, and it's through connection that we can have the greatest and most positive effect. So there we go. There. I just felt the rush of energy as the circle completely filled, and it kind of like spun back around on itself, and the energy was like moving in almost like a whirlwind, because energy does tend to move like wind or water in cyclonic types of formations. And yeah, so we're going to just hold Rachel and her family and friends in the center there for a moment. Any of the souls that are connected to her who are really struggling with this grief and this depression, and helping to alleviate, lift some of that burden if we can. So just lift that up, let that energy that's being, filling the circle, let that lift some of the grief up and off. Dissolve some of it out through the root, lift some of it up and off out through the crown. We're just going to come at it from both ends, really shifting this pain, because it is deep and profound pain. And we all benefit from this as well. So as we give, so shall we receive. So anybody who's needing healing in the circle, you're also receiving it in turn. We're all involved, we're all benefiting. Beautiful. There we go. And there we go. And they said, it is done. There we go. Thank you guys. That was amazing. You guys are rock stars. You guys are awesome. And I want to say a deep, special thank you to all of you who are here and who are watching the replay, because you can also be involved in that moment of channeling, because again, time is not linear or local. So, or energy is not linear or local, I should say. So thank you, because Rachel really means she holds a very special place in my heart, and I'm going to cry. I'm going to try not to cry. I just really love Rachel. She's so gentle and so pure, and she deserves all of the support we can give her, as do all of you. Okay, so Now, she was also asking about shifting ancestral threads of scarcity to embolden the truth, and this is her, in her words, embolden the truth of her loving, beautiful, abundant, protected, and divine eternal existence. Just like, can you feel her energy through her words? She's amazing. So let's actually connect to that as well. Oh, they're telling me I can do this one on my own. So thank you, all of you who are here in the group who were supporting in that healing. It's really helpful for all of us. So thank you for that, and especially for Rachel and her friends and family. Thank you, Source Conduit, Inner Sky Alchemy, Danielle, Cheryl, really everyone. I can't scroll back up and see everybody in the chat, but Ariel, Sacha, Tiffany, Cooley Art, Mayella. Okay, I'm just going to do it because I want to say everybody. Rosalie, and Tiffany. I think that's everyone. If I missed you, I'm so sorry. Leslie. Yeah. So thank you all so much, you guys. And so for the ancestral threads of scarcity, I'm just going to... Oh, they told me we're going to do that separately. Rachel. Okay. I actually have plans to meet up with Rachel next week, or I'm hoping that that we'll be able to do that. So I'm going to actually help her do that in person. That's what we're going to do. Okay. All right. So then let's move to Janine. Janine. 100% felt that. Yeah, me too. That was powerful. You guys are awesome. So Janine, what would you like to, do you have a question or an energy check-in or something like that? Just put it in the chat there and we'll take a look at that. This is an amazing group, Cheryl. Yes, it is. I am so blessed to have you guys in this membership, in this group. You guys are just, oh, I love you. Oh, it's up in the chat a bit. Oh, here it is. Just to check in, cards or messages that want to come through. Big shifts. Excited for our private session. Yeah, me too. I know our private sessions, Janine, like, always blow my mind, and I always learn something. Like, I always end up learning something, and I have to take down so many notes to try and piece it all together, but it's so cool. Okay, so messages that want to come through, just some cards. Okay, let me see which deck. Yeah, they are. I intuitively felt that this deck was going to probably come through, but I set it to the side because I wasn't sure. You know, I still doubt myself. You know, even just doing this for a living, I still doubt myself, so it's human. But for Janine, let's take a look and see what the cards have to say. Any messages that want to come through for her right now as she's going through some big shifts. And yeah, I do see these 4 cards, and they want me to, we'll stop there, and then we'll get more if we need. All right, you have Judgment, Janine. Whew, yeah. That's big energy. That's a big shift right there. Judgment. You have the 6 of Pentacles. Okay. I just want to get all the cards out on the table before I kind of start jumping into the message here. You have the, what is this? 9 of Swords. 9 of Swords. And this is the Art of Adventure Tarot. They just wanted me to mention that, and they want me to show you the box, Janine. Maybe you resonate with this, or there's some kind of a connection there. I'm not sure, but they wanted me to tell you that. The Art of Adventure. So you have the 9 of Swords, and you have the 5, 6, 7 of Pentacles as well. Okay, so the 6 of Pentacles and the 7 of Pentacles, Judgment, and the 9 of Swords. So Janine, yeah, this is a big shift out of this mindset of lack is what they just told me. And it's funny because that was the question that Rachel was asking about too, ancestral scarcity mindset. That's kind of what I'm seeing here for you too. It's like getting out of this mindset of begging energetically, either for money or for, I don't, yeah, it just, it does. It feels like money, like scarcity mindset. Now, I don't think that that's anything that we've ever talked about before in our sessions, but for whatever reason, that's coming up here. And I don't know if this is something that you're struggling with or not, but for whatever reason, this is the archetypal theme. So this could be something that you're actually helping other people to shift. Through frequency adjustment. Oh, because they showed me the horn in his hand. Yeah, ancestral stuff. It is ancestral stuff, because that was the question that Rachel asked. You see what I was talking about before, how spirit will get you to ask a question because it's related to something else that somebody else is, experiencing at the same time. So they'll be like two birds, one stone, two questions, one answer. The judgment card here is talking about toning and frequency. And I know you do work with tuning forks and doing toning work. So I'm seeing that you, through this work for yourself and also for others, you are shifting these lineages. It's lineage stuff to do with scarcity, feeling oppressed, and needing to grovel quite literally for your dinner. That's what they're showing me from these past lives, where not even past lives from you, but like ancestral past lives of your kin, who really were kind of under the thumb, is what they're showing me, under the thumb of the powers that be. And we go deep into that in our sessions, the powers that be and some of that past life stuff. So I feel like you are really kind of processing a lot of some of the mental layers. The astral realm is what they just told me. You're doing a lot of astral realm work right now. And I know you particularly are a channel in your dream state. So being able to channel and heal and process some of that ancestral control through money or lack or scarcity, that may be what's coming up in your dreams now, or in the astral realm for you to process. And I can see that you're working hard at this behind the scenes. That's what they're showing me. Like he's kind of like sweating. He's like, oh, I've been toiling away in the fields all day, and it's kind of they just showed me the feudal times. So that was when you had a feud lord. Is that right? Yeah. You had like this man or woman, well, usually it was a man, who controlled the land and then kind of like rented it out to you as a farmer, and then you would till the land and create the crop, and then you'd have to pay a certain amount to the feudal lord or something like that. That's what they're showing me. So this definitely goes back in time. This is not something that's just this lifetime or this lifetime at all. It's very much these past previous experiences. I'm seeing taxation was a big thing. That's what they're showing me. Stress and worry over taxation and having to pay to these feudal lords or to the crown. Yeah, so this is like Middle Ages type of stuff. Okay, yeah, we can definitely go much deeper into that in our session together, Janine, next week. So I'm looking forward to that. I think I'll leave it there for now, because and I'm going to take that down. I'm going to make note of that so that I can remember when we go into it a little bit more. But yeah, hopefully between now and then, you'll get a little bit more insight into it on your own, maybe even, through the dream state. Do some tuning work, as I know that you do. Yeah, it's definitely an old stuck pattern, time to recode that. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So we'll recode that when we get in there, and we can do some actual past life rewriting and stuff like that. And yeah, that's what I see for you, Janine. So thank you for being here. Always a pleasure to see you. And thank you everyone for being here. This is Shevon of Tarot and Beyond signing off for the day. I love you guys. I hope that this session helped, and I look forward to the next one. So that'll be next month. As usual, I'll announce it a week before and then update you guys a few days before as well. If you're not able to make it live, you can always leave your questions in the comments of those posts on the members board, and we will see you in the next live and also in the upcoming readings. The back to school reading is finally coming out tomorrow. I've been putting that one together for a while now. So members, you will have access to the back to school reading as well, which is talking about your next lesson that you are stepping into, the next level or the next level of soul development. Okay. So thank you guys so much. I love you, and we will see you in the next live and the next reading.